Okay, guys, this is part 2. Okay, so part 2 of our work on the price mechanism. In your notes, we've been looking at 3 key functions of price. Okay, so let's just remind ourselves what those are: the signaling function, the rationing or allocator function, and the incentive function. Now, in the exam, what is it you need to know? Clearly, you must know those, and we need to be able to explain how the market, through the invisible hand, or through its invisible hand, eliminates excess demand or excess supply. So we're going to go through these in stages. In your notes, on page 75 and 76, it's very important that you now adapt your diagrams. Okay, so get your rulers, get your pens, get your colors out. Okay, go through these piece by piece. Okay, so I'm going to run through these piece by piece. Some of it is in your notes, some of it isn't. Okay, but you're going to have to replicate this in an exam. Okay, so follow all changes carefully. So in this instance, we are going to show how the price mechanism eliminates excess demand. Okay, so we're going to start off with this initial position, market equilibrium. Price is going to be OP1 and quantity traded OQ1. You should be on the top of page 75. Now, the first thing that is going to happen is there's going to be a rise in demand. Perhaps due to a rise in disposable income following an income tax cut. And as a result of that, and you need to draw this now, the demand curve is going to shift out from D1 to D2. Okay, so let's just show that. So draw that in, and this is going to create excess demand. Okay, have a look at what's happening. There will be an excess demand or shortage equal to A to C. Now, in the past, let me just get my pen, little highlighter here, and let me just check the color. Okay, in the past, you guys know we would have gone from a place, an equilibrium A, through to one that will be called B up here in a little while. Okay, but we're talking about the journey to get there. Okay, the journey to get there. Okay, now, in terms of this excess demand at a price P1, initially firms still want to supply at 0P1, but consumers want to purchase AC. Okay, so that's the first thing that happens. Okay, you can see point B has come in there now. Now the market is going to move along its new demand curve D2 and along the supply curve to eliminate this. Okay, so this excess demand puts upward pressure on price, which rations, it rations the good amongst those who can afford it. As the price goes up, only consumers who can afford it and are willing to pay the higher prices will get the goods. Okay, and quantity demanded will contract, will fall as the price rises. Okay, thirdly, and I hope you're highlighting key points within your paragraph on this. Thirdly, as the prices are being bid up, the increase in price signals information to producers that there's been a change in the market. So in terms of producers, look what's happening. Look at the green line or green arrow. Okay, so a higher price gives producers an incentive or profit motive to increase the amount that they supply. Okay, and this is going to continue. Look at what's happening as prices are bid up because of excess demand. Consumers are going to some will be put off. There will be a rationing effect. At the same time, the higher prices signal to producers that profit can be made and to increase production. And this is going to continue all the way through until the price mechanism has eliminated excess demand and a new equilibrium is reached. Okay, which will be at price 0P2 and output 0Q2. And that's what we would normally see on your diagram. Okay, what we've just explained is the process of how to get there. Okay, now if you need to rewind this video and play that back to yourself, make sure you do. Okay, now the next one, you guys are going to have to write all of these down. Okay, so take note and take care. so this is page 75. You need to do all of this yourself. Okay, so again, we start off with an initial market equilibrium, 0p1, and quantity traded 0q1. Now there's going to be an increase in supply, perhaps due to an increase in technology, and the supply curve will shift outwards from S. Not sure what happened there. I think there's a typo. Okay, from S to S2. Okay, so just in terms of what we can see, the supply curve shifts outwards in a parallel fashion, causing excess supply. Let's show that. So the excess supply, okay, think about what's happening at a price at 0p1. Consumers still demand at 0q1, but firms now supply 0c or 0q3. Okay, so there's excess supply equal to AC. Okay, now you guys should know what happens when there's excess supply. What do firms are producing more than consumers want? So what will they start to do? Okay, make sure that you press pause and copy all these points down, as well as the changes in your diagram, obviously. Okay, now that you've copied that down, let's have a look at what happens. Okay, add point B to your diagram, okay, which will be where the new equilibrium comes. So with excess supply, some producers are going to reduce their prices in order to sell stocks. Some will make a loss because they're not selling enough and they will leave the market. They no longer have, emphasize it, they no longer have that incentive to produce, and again this will reduce the quantity supplied further. So just think about what's happening here. Okay, so in terms of this, with firms dropping prices, the signaling function of the price mechanism leads consumers to change their plans. It gives them an incentive to purchase more at a lower price because they'll get greater satisfaction, and this process is going to continue until the quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied. Okay, so just have a look at your green arrows there. Okay, firms are reducing prices, consumers, it acts as a signal to them to purchase more because they will get more satisfaction at a lower price, and this will continue all the way through until the new equilibrium 0PE and 0QE is reached, and the price mechanism at this point has eliminated excess supply. Okay, again press pause, make sure you get all of that information down, and replay it to yourself as you need to make sure this is clear in your mind. Okay, and there's our new equilibrium. Okay, oops. There's a new equilibrium at a price 0p2 and quantity traded q2, and all we've described is how we get from that initial equilibrium at point A to the new equilibrium point B. Okay, in the real world there is a process, okay, and it's a lot more complex than saying a market simply moves from equilibrium at point A to equilibrium at point B, and we must know and be able to explain that using the three functions of price. Okay, just to finish us off, in terms of the function of profit, what function does profit have in terms of allocating resources? Well, it certainly gives firms an incentive to take risks because they want more profits. And what will they do to get more profits? Well, first of all, they will come up with new products, new production techniques, and they will also put money into marketing in order to gain that profit. Okay, very important. Okay, in terms of yourselves, you can undertake wider reading. There are a few links there that you can use. A nice video on the invisible hand. Again, I would urge you to watch that and to take notes. It's only a minute and a half. And in terms of a past paper question, if you turn to page 77, you've got a couple of 8 markers there. And just in terms of an essay plan, think about everything that we've covered so far. Explain how resources are allocated in a free market economy. Excuse me. You might want to write a little plan for this on the bottom half of page 77. Well, first of all, I would explain my key terms. So explain what we mean by a free market economy. I would make a brief introduction to the role of the market and its invisible hand, and you've got that information, I think it's on the top of page 72. Thirdly, I would use a diagram to explain how the price mechanism allocates resources, and you can choose either one of the last two diagrams that we looked at, either the one eliminating excess demand or excess supply, making sure that you mention the signaling, rationing and incentive functions. Okay, so the three functions of price. So you just use a worked example like we did on page 75 or 76. And then lastly, you include the role of profit in allocating resources, and that should be more than enough for 8 marks. Okay, and you literally need to learn that diagram and the explanation. Okay, if you do that, you should be comfortable answering such a question. Obviously, everything that's in this plan needs to be learned, but how the price mechanism eliminates excess demand or supply is crucial. And that's it, folks. Okay, there is now a quiz to have a go at.